And we're back with another video.
Are you recording?
I am recording.
Okay, just making sure the button's on.
So,
And here we come with the garlic. Yay!
any of our truck driving friends probably knows where we're at. We're on California 152, headed from Gilroy, which is the garlic capital of the world.
Yep, and avocado 6 for $1, but you got to purchase something of it.
Right. But yeah, so this is a little 2-lane, 4-lane, mostly 2-lane road that runs from Gilroy, California, over to Santa Nella, up and over the mountains, Pacheco Pass, I believe. Pacheco? I don't know.
I don't know either. Don't ask me. You know how I am with where we're at and what we're doing.
So
I'm just driving.
Yeah, this the start of this is a 2-lane road. It eventually turns into a 4-lane highway. I think we're going to make this another 2-part, multi-part video.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. I think we're going to take the video up to the top of the pass, and then once we go down the other side, like I said, it's a 4-lane highway there, but it goes past a big reservoir. Some pretty neat California scenery that way. This place, and we'll point it out when we get up here, goes past one of our all-time favorite little stops.
It actually has truck parking.
That has truck parking, and it is called Casa de Fruta, which is a neat little place. They have like just all kinds of stuff there. They have peacocks.
Yeah, the peacocks are what wake you up in the morning. You know, you think the rooster. Well, the rooster does too. They have a rooster there too, I believe.
But they sell all kinds of.
Peacocks like to make their noises.
They sell fruit and candies and ice cream, and they have a restaurant, and it's just a really neat little local place. I don't know if we've ever said anything about it, but I just get so tired of going to corporate America to eat or to grab
or
something.
To buy our produce.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man. Well, we were talking about avocados back there. I'm so tired of trying to go to Walmart and get avocados that you can't even find a ripe one. And usually when we go shopping, we want to fix our stuff up the next day, you know, for that day or whatever. And it's just like, I don't have time to wait 2 or 3 days for my avocado to get ready.
But if
they
you
got
can
strawberries
find
out here
fresh, this area is basically all produce farms, I guess.
They evidently got sweet corn out here too.
Yeah, sweet corn,
it's a little late for all that at home.
Honey. Yeah, but I think they grow here year-round. I mean, we've never come through here where there hasn't been something growing, whether it's been greens, like there's a field over here that has a lot of green in it.
You can't see it, of course, because it's on the other side of the road.
And I know the sun's sort of shining through right now, and you can't really see that great. But the fields looks like they just plowed them up, and they are just so dark I'm sure they're just, so fertile. And, of course, they have basically a year-round growing season.
Yeah, and this is the place that I tell my mom about, and she'll say, well, why don't you bring some stuff home?
Yeah.
Grab it and bring it home.
Well,
it's like, usually because we're not coming home for a while.
Right.
So it doesn't always work out that way.
It's sort of hard sometimes to stop at these old places, although we have stopped in years past and bought some things.
Yeah, and some of the places have a little bit further to pull off. Yeah, like over there, you could have pulled off, or over there to the left.
All kinds of fresh fruit and everything else. Pistachios. They have local garlic. Like I said, the thing that amazes me about Gilroy is the smell. Mm-hmm. It smells like garlic, which is not surprising since it's the garlic capital of the world.
Yep.
But they must grow a ton of it here because it always smells so good.
And it does. You know when you're close by. Even if you wouldn't even know you were in Gilroy, you start smelling garlic, yeah, know you're there.
You know you are. So, but this little road winds around here in the flatlands, and pretty soon we'll go up into the mountains past Casa de Fruta, go up and over.
And I will say the grape leaves, and I know we have them at home with the vineyards and stuff, but they're so pretty right now because of the fall. And the leaves are turning. It's pretty cool.
So this is like one of our favorite roads to drive on in probably the whole country. At least it is for me. Of course, I'm not driving, so
obviously.
But there's just so much to see, and all the little fruit stands that they have up. I grew up basically with my mom and dad ran a fruit produce market. We didn't grow our own food, but we, sold that. So that's sort of in my blood.
Yep, you were like one of these produce markets, but you just think grow your own.
Right. And so that was an interesting growing up. Um, South of here, they have a lot of flowers where they grow cut flowers in the fields, and those fields are really beautiful to see. This time, well, I imagine in the springtime and everything. Trying to remember what the name of the little town is down there. We've actually delivered there when we were out here last year doing our
Running all over
PPE
California
runs.
time.
Yeah. Oh, Hollister.
Hollister, yeah.
So Hollister is just south of here, off in the haze. But their fields are just gorgeous, acres and acres of wildflowers. It's really beautiful to see down there. And so,
while we're driving along, we had a really good visit with friends of ours last night. Went
yes,
to a food, what was it called? The Avenue or
Avenue
something?
Grill
Avenue Grill.
in Lodi, California.
Yeah.
That was a neat little place.
But you can't get there by truck. So our
No.
friends picked us up and took us over there. But you could probably Uber, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 miles away from the truck stop there.
Yeah.
But
That was really good. But they're just a breakfast and lunch crowd.
right, they closed the doors at 2:00 and said go home.
Yep. But they
And-
kicked us out. No, we
It
left
did.
because we realized we were out there so
But
late.
the
There's a lot of water over there.
yeah, we had well, you guys all had cheeseburgers, which were huge, and they looked like they were really, really good. I, on the other hand, was irritated with Arby's because it did not have my orange creamsicle shake the day before, and I really wanted one of those. And so, luckily, this little place had an orange sickle shake.
Yeah,
It's
I do
really,
have to
really
tell
good.
you all though, when he couldn't get his little orange sickle shake, guess who still ordered their chocolate shake?
Yes.
I did, and he had to suffer without his, and I went ahead
It
and
was
ate mine.
terrible.
That's horrible. You know, after
Terrible.
being
It's bad.
married as long as we've been married, it's too bad. I'm not nice anymore.
It's true story. It's bad enough that I can't eat bread with my gluten issues, but then she rubs it in. I felt really bad. No, it's
It was
fine.
horrible. They didn't have orange syrup.
It's fine. I didn't. I could have got a Jamocha shake or a chocolate shake or a vanilla shake, and I'd have been fine with it because I like those. Just in the mood for a milkshake.
No, it was
But
just
I
pure. I only wanted
The
orange.
That's true. I only wanted the orange, and I was not going to be happy unless I had orange.
After you couldn't get
Oh,
that, you didn't
but
want
the
it.
guy at the counter said, "Oh, but we'll probably have them tomorrow."
And Jim's like, "Oh, that's helpful."
That's
He
extremely
didn't say that
helpful.
to the guy, but
It's like, well, yeah, I'm sure. It's like, okay, I'm just supposed to wait around. I'm at a truck stop. Chances are I'm a truck driver or traveling, but they'll have them tomorrow.
Well, and I had to laugh because this morning at 5:30 out here time, there was somebody sitting in Arby's
Yes,
with an orange
creamsicle
shake.
5:30 this morning.
They evidently got it fixed.
So yeah, that was a problem. It wasn't that they didn't have the ingredients. Their machine, they said they were out of the syrup. So yeah, I'm really sure that the syrup came in, that early in the morning.
It's a truck that parked there, so he could get
Yep.
some stuff.
Pacheco Pass. See there? Right there.
I was thinking one of our driver friends said they usually stop at that one back there, but it might
Right.
be. I can't remember if there's one down here further that they've stopped at.
There
I
may
think they
be.
always say it's like the last one, unless it's the last one going the other way. I don't remember.
Right.
It's like, how do you know you get to the last one until you're already there?
It's like
until
you
you've
go
already passed it.
to
and
go
you
to
don't
where
know.
the stop sign used to be.
It's like, go to the last one. Well, I don't know when the last one is. Well, you know that one that's like right across from that field over there.
Right. Right across from where the house used to be before
Yeah.
the barn burned down. So,
I have no idea.
but so I did have my orange shake. It was extremely good. It came out in like the old-fashioned tin metal cups and another cup. And so it was like having 2 milkshakes. It was really way too much. But anyway, got that out of the way. So I was happy. I was content. Even though I didn't really eat yesterday,
Pink pineapple.
I drank my liquid orange milkshake.
Yep. and you were happy. He didn't eat anything for dinner. He just had a shake.
No, I
That's
was full.
just,
The shake was big enough that it was good. It was enough for 2 meals.
I think it also helped that you told the waitress that your sob story about Arby's, and
Oh, I don't know
she
if I
probably threw a little extra in
if I
there for you.
classify it as a sob story, but I guess.
Yep.
I guess I did sort of sob about it a little bit. But,
He's like, that's all I want, and let me tell you why.
yeah, I guess I did tell her the story. She probably thought I was a nut. Hey, there's a guy out here that is telling me about these orange
He
shakes.
really is having a hard day because he didn't get a shake
So
yesterday.
let's make him a big one and make it really good. So, but it was actually really good. I'd highly recommend going to that little place. That was,
and it was very busy. We got there, of course, right at lunchtime. I think it was quarter after 12,
Right.
12:30 Pacific time.
Oh,
Might be there.
that's one thing we were going to talk about. The time difference. We're out here in California, so it's 3 hours behind what it is over on the East Coast. So we tend to stay on Eastern time because we were up at 5:30 their time this morning, but it's 8:30 our time.
Let's get real. It was 4:30 because I think we woke up at 7:30 Eastern time.
Yeah, I think so.
And people just look at
Might
us like
have
we're
been
crazy.
before that. So I don't know. It's just one of those things. Over the years, we've sort of gotten used to it. Now, if we come out here and we stay for any length of time, I tend to switch over to local time, and Judy tends to stay on Eastern time. So that's really
it just
fun.
depends on because on my phone it switches to regular or the wherever we're at time.
Right.
And Jim uses his phone to check time with. I have a watch, and so instead of changing my watch all the time, it's just on Eastern time.
Right.
So if we're out and about, I look at my watch, and that's why mine stays Eastern because I'm not flip flopping it back and forth every time we change time zones.
Right.
Because I have my phone that'll tell me if we're
So, like right now, we're actually delivering in Alabama on Wednesday, so we will lose 2 hours.
Yeah.
And but that's okay.
Yeah, well, and the difference of between our other carrier and the carrier we drive for now is that they stayed on Eastern time. So like every place that we had, every clock that we had stayed on Eastern time. I even had my cell phone set on Eastern time when we drove for other carrier.
Right.
Now, and that's what your pickup delivery time was always Eastern time. It didn't matter. And now with this carrier, you're on whatever time zone you're delivering or picking up in.
Yeah, local time.
So we picked up in Pacific time and we're delivering in Central time. So that for some people it can either way it can be confusing. But for right now, I don't get bothered by it. I think I was sometimes more confused with Eastern time when we were delivering out to places because they would tell me it was a certain time and it was like, no, it's not that time. It's this time.
Right. So, but
right back there was Hollister, an exit to Hollister.
That was the exit to Hollister. Now we're cruising around here on the short stretch of 4-lane highway. We're almost to Casa de Fruta.
Watch the bump.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
Every time we do that.
I think no way to get around it.
Truck bottoms out there. There's no way to avoid that. Unless you don't come this way, which I guess you could avoid it in that instance.
Could avoid it if you don't come this way, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, but this road, we're slowly gaining altitude, I guess.
Gaining altitude, it's like we're in a plane or something.
Right. Well, it looks like it when we get up to the top. It's a pretty steep pass.
Casa de Fruta Parkway.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Here we go. Casa de Fruta Parkway.
Didn't you all anticipate that? Anticipation.
There you go. So it's not like you're really going to see anything over
No,
there.
because we're not getting off the exit, so you're not going to be able to see it. You can see the exit that you would get off, but you're not.
Oh, that's really handy.
Place.
I'm always amazed how the character of this area changes. from
exit.
season to season.
Oh, well, no, they can't see it.
You can see
we can
part of
kind
it
see
over
it, but I
there.
don't know if they can see it.
There's Casa de Fruta, the restaurant, and they
Actually have an RV park there,
gas station, big RV park.
And if you have an electric car, you can plug it in.
Yeah, she can.
Except when the electricity's out, which
Yes.
we were there that one time. There was no
One time we were here and electricity was out, and they couldn't charge their cars. We were highly agitated about
gas
that.
pumps didn't work either.
Yeah, it's
So
like
it didn't really matter.
We're not going anywhere. We were okay.
Nobody's doing
Yeah,
anything.
diesel. But I'm always amazed out here how this can change, because we have been here and all the hills are just a really bright, beautiful green, and now, and I guess it's this time of the year, but
Not so
everything's
much.
brown, except for the live oak trees, which are everywhere. So this
But
is
it reminds me kind of like pictures of Ireland or something when it's all green.
When it's
all of it's green.
so
it's
green in the spring after the rains and
really
everything.
pretty.
It is just really, really beautiful here.
And not like green grass like at home. It's got like a
No.
different green.
It's
to
like
it. It's really cool.
I don't know. It's hard to describe. Like you say, it reminds you of pictures you've seen of Ireland, and so. It's like they're drilling a well. That's what they're doing there.
What'd you say?
They're drilling a well right there.
Oh, they're. I will say, I thought you said they're growing a well.
Growing a well. Yes, they have a well tree, and they're growing a well right there.
Growing a well.
Always amazed by these big, giant live oak trees.
It's like the whole Lassie thing.
Yeah, they're huge. There.
Yeah, the live oaks down in Louisiana. You don't want to drive under those. Well, even out here if they're along the road.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
those branches are so big.
Just giant trees. They spread out so much, and it's like they have trees growing out the side of trees. They're just not branches. The branches are as big around as most big trees. So, but
yeah, even
this
is just their little ones just hanging out. It's so thick. Anyway, I mentioned Louisiana because we had a delivery down in Louisiana, and there were live oak trees literally just covering the road. I mean, there was like a canopy, and it was just like there was 2 lanes, and we literally had to drive down the middle of them because our truck was too tall. You know, we would have hit some of the branches.
Oh yeah, and it's not like they were going to move. They would have taken your truck out. I mean,
yeah.
But and they told us the lady that was with us, we had a courier in that load. She was saying that they can't cut the trees because they're considered historical landmarks. Cattle
got some big horns on them cattle.
So there's nothing they could really do. They just do it the best you can, and you have to navigate around it. And so we're driving down this street, looking down the side streets, trying to figure out how to get to the museum. It was quite comical in a way, but we made it. We didn't damage the truck any, so
yeah,
good job.
That must be. I wonder if it's the same farm with those cows in it as there was back there.
Yeah, I don't know if you. I never really thought too much about it. Like I said, if we would have never been truck drivers, we'd have never made our way out here. But they're like cattle all over the place out here. So.
Yeah, no, we talk about you talked about a little bit the other day about California and the differences that you go through.
Right.
There's so much different places, and you just don't think about it. I mean, I don't know about any of you. So most of the time, I think Hollywood. The beach is out here.
Right.
Whatever, and I never really thought about the deserts too much and the mountains and it's just like, well, you go out to California, there's the Pacific Ocean.
Right.
That's all I ever thought about.
But there's a lot of mountainous areas, and you're going to see one of those here real soon. But it's really interesting that on this side of the hills of this mountain range, basically, you still get some moisture, and you'll see these big trees obviously don't grow if there's no moisture around. And like I said, in the springtime, these hills just turn, brilliant green. But we go up and over the pass and go over on the other side where the big reservoir is at, which stay tuned for part 2. There's no trees over there. I mean, it goes from, here to to there, and it's a
There's
dramatic
obviously a little water
shift.
over here to the right.
Yeah. So
As Jim gets a spam call in the middle of the video.
no.
Oh.
So,
You need to
but
stop it.
yeah. So anyway,
Jim's distracted now.
yeah, I'm distracted. We're getting a phone call from an agent. I probably really should answer.
Yeah,
it,
why don't you pause this real quick?
So I'll pause it real quick, and just like that, we're back.
Oh, wow.
Didn't lose too much. It was about a mile.
Yeah, so I was still trying to figure out who you were talking to.
Yeah, we had an agent call us, which happens, which we're happy about, and he had a load, but for whatever reason, he was seeing us in our old truck.
Yeah.
Which, hey, we still need to make a video about that. We changed trucks. We are no longer in the truck we were in for 3 years. We're in a newer one. Well, actually, it's the same age. It's actually identical twin. You can tell it apart if you set them next to each other. But anyway, we changed trucks. We'll tell you about that someday. Probably in a video right up here.
Yeah, we don't know where.
We don't know. So anyway, but he called. He had a load, but he said, "You're not in Indiana." I'm like, "No, I'm in California." I told him. He said, "What are you doing?" Or I said, "Are you trying to ignore my calls?" I'm like, "No, I was out here in California and I got distracted with the smell of garlic." And he goes, "Oh, you're in California?" And I'm like, "Yep." And he goes, "Well, it shows you're in Indiana." And I'm like, "No."
What was it? Isn't that the agent we just did the load out here for?
No.
Okay.
No.
Never mind. I thought that's who you said.
So anyway, here we are going up the hill, starting to see some beautiful rock formations and the steep little incline up to the top of the hill. And like I said, when we get up to the top, we're going to go into part 2. So stay tuned.
Get more
But wait,
trees right now,
there's
too.
more.
Those are coming up.
Yeah.
I would say it gets a little colder, but I think it's just more shaded.
Like more shaded, maybe it gets more water. I don't know. It's a pretty steep grade, especially coming down. But yeah, just
Jim's holding his breath while I'm driving.
I
you tell
am
that?
not. I am not.
It's like he stops talking. It's like, what am I doing?
Well,
What did I do?
the road is rather bouncy.
Yeah,
not-
it
you
is.
probably
I don't know how
can't
the
tell that,
pictures are
but
turning it out,
We're
but
sort of getting tossed about in the truck. So
he's holding on for dear life, everybody.
I am, basically.
He's trying to, it's like he's riding a roller coaster. The mine ride at Cedar Point. That's where he's riding.
Yeah, right. It's not quite that bad.
Hold on.
Fun for dear life.
When we go down, we'll be riding the Blue Streak. I don't think it's quite high enough to be the Gemini, but
Right. All these little mountain roads and passes out here in California. So.
like how he changed the subject. He doesn't want to talk about Cedar Point anymore.
I know. I don't feel that's appropriate.
Wonder how many of our people who watch like amusement parks.
I don't know.
I know we had driver friends of ours who they would hit Disney World, Disneyland every time they got, or if there was any other type of amusement park out in the road, they'd take time to stop at them.
Right. Yeah, I can't even remember the last time I was at an amusement park. It's been probably 20 years. So.
And then we have friends of ours who was it baseball stadiums?
Yeah.
He was trying to hit all those.
Go to a lot of baseball stadiums. So.
And go to games and stuff like that.
So we are almost to the top of the pass. Still going uphill.
Still going.
Still 55 mile an hour. Right there. So.
Got to slow down back there a little bit around the curves and stuff. Just because the road was so, I don't know what you call it, uneven or a little bouncy or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Grooves in it that take you one way and then the other.
But it's nice that it's 4-lane across here. So
yeah.
Instead of a windy, twisty.
I don't know how long it's been 4 lanes across here since we've been driving, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's always been 4 lanes as far as I can remember. I don't remember. I'm sure it was probably 2-lane at one point in time.
I don't know.
So we are coming up to the top of the pass. If you notice, we eventually run out of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, well, it is 67 degrees outside, just in case, because I said it felt like it got colder, but it really did.
Thanks for the weather report.
Yeah, and it was, what, 40 some last night,
Yes,
overnight, or
it's a
whatever?
little chilly. So,
And I think they lie about these scales right here, too.
yeah, there's supposedly scales here, but I've never seen those open. They'll be open today, waiting for
Yeah,
us.
yeah, Mr. In Gilroy saying, oh, that one side's not open.
Yeah, it's,
It says scales. I'm not stopping because there are no scales there.
there's nobody there. Yeah,
There's truck parking right there, though.
right.
I think, like you say, sometimes they have these scales that are,
As you can see, the scales. There is like a place, I guess, where they would weigh people at right there. But
yeah,
no,
don't they have like mobile
it's
scales?
where the old road used to go, right
Some
there.
places? Yeah,
So.
Jim and his old
Well, they
roads.
built this reservoir here. You'll see in just a few minutes, and the road used to basically veer off to the right and wind its way back down the mountains on the other side. And then they built this big 4-lane after they built the thing. Here's the great thing about this area, and we've seen them a few times. That if you take a peek at this sign coming up right here, there's a giant elk.
Yeah, that's not a deer. That's all.
It's an elk. And there is like a herd of elk that hangs out around the reservoir. We see them on occasion, and they're huge. So anyway, we're started down the other side, so I'm going to end this one, and then we'll start right back up.